Welcome to another edition of Politics and Right. I'm Egberto, Willies, your host. Today I'm honored to have Jocelyn Sherman with United Farm Workers. Jocelyn, how you doing, my friend?
Good.
We go back a long time. Every single Netroots Nation, there you are. And I've been trying to get you to talk for quite a long time because you have a very interesting story. You grew up with Cesar Chavez. First of all, tell me a little about you and what you're doing.
My name is Jocelyn Sherman. I'm the digital director for the United Farm Workers,
Right.
and I handle all of our digital, the website, the social media, any of that type of thing.
Right.
And I met Cesar when I was about 5 years old.
You know that's a hell of a privilege, right? I mean, that is a guy that's codified into the workers' movement, and to think that you were like right under his arm all of the time. Tell us a little bit about that.
I met him when I was very young at supporter meetings with my mom. Actually, I ran up to him in a crowd and he told him, "Yep, whose kid is this?" And my mom was a supporter. I got involved in college again.
Right.
And joined staff, and I was in New York, and they wanted me to come to California. And I said no the first time.
Right.
And I didn't realize they left me in New York because they needed someone to organize the Labor Day parade contingent. Right. And Cesar came out to be part of that and was one of these, "Mija, come on, let's walk and talk," and convinced me to come to California for 2 months. It's been more than 35 years. I've been doing this. He was my friend. It was one of the things that he actually promised my mother he'd watch over me and took it very serious.
When you moved to California to be with the movement.
Yes. I was very, very lucky. He was a mentor.
Right.
He was a friend who I got to talk to as a friend. I was so young, I didn't grasp that I was with a hero.
Right. But I mean, that is amazing because I mean, a lot of people, you work you're still working in the workers' movement. You're still doing it after decades, after he's been gone for decades now. And a lot of people would see you in the movement and wouldn't have an idea that you had such an attachment to it because, again, you were always with the farmers' movement with Cesar Chavez.
Right.
Is that reflected in the people, the newcomers in the movement that think that they are, to put it bluntly, all that, not realizing that you have that history?
I don't know. It's not something I talk about. It's something I'm very attached to. I got involved with the union really because of pesticides.
Right.
I was very involved in the environment, and Cesar, in his wisdom to make me speak Spanish, put me in charge of the cancer families.
That's how you learned Spanish.
I understood Spanish beforehand. I was actually on campaigns. Dolores basically at one point refused to
Dolores Huerta
at one point refused to let anyone translate for me unless I gave my reports in Spanish.
Okay.
So I understood Spanish, but I did not speak it because I'm very aware that I'm not fluent.
Right.
So Cesar put me in charge of the cancer families, and I'm like, "Hey, I can't speak to them. Mija, your heart will speak. Bring a translator." And of course, I didn't want to bring a translator, so I spoke to them, and that's how he got me to. But it's also dealing with that and dealing with families of a young girl who died of pesticide poisoning and dealing with her family and her mother afterwards going, "Did I kill my daughter? I used to pick her up when she came home and hug her. Is this my fault she got leukemia?"
Right.
It affected me, and I stayed.
That is something that I think more of us need to be a part of. In other words, we need to know that we can actually make a difference. And the way you make a difference is when something happens, you go out and you do something about it. And that's what you did. You had a good beginning with Cesar Chavez and Dolores Huerta.
Right.
You had a mother that allowed you to engage in the movement, and she actually, to put it bluntly, loaned you to Cesar Chavez to do the job.
For 6 months and wants to know why I stayed, but yes.
There you go, right? So I mean, anyway, give me a quick closer. Tell me what you think about the movement and where do we go from here?
The movement is very powerful. I mean, farm workers out there, and they're the most oppressed people. You take things like heat, we're going for laws to protect the worker, federal laws. We've got laws in California, in Washington, in Oregon, but we need national federal regulations for outdoor workers, and the Biden administration just introduced the first proposed ones, and we're going to have comment periods and need to get it going. But overall, we just need to stand with the people who put food on our table. I mean, our hashtag is We Feed You, and I think that's it. Watch it and help.
Jocelyn, Sherman, thank you so kindly for being a
Sure.
part of Politics Done Right.
For sure.
We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead. Number one, subscribe to our channel, and number two, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.